Hello everyone, Chris here with Platinum Reviews, or as I am referred to on Twitter by some people, the Bandai Legend. Why? Because I review a lot of Bandai Namco games. This time around, we are reviewing Gundam Breakers 4. Is this a hit, or is it a break? Well, let's find out. Now let's start with the story. It was my surprise that I went into this game not really expecting any story whatsoever, let alone a decent one. Well, Bandai said, hold on a second, Chris. These last few games, the story hasn't been that great. We got you this time around. This time we were welcomed with an actual heartwarming, warm felt story. And I'll tell you a little bit about it, but not too much, because I think this is one that you should definitely enjoy for yourself. In the world of GB4, you are a new player. The game has not officially released yet, and you are in the beta phase. You meet new friends and build these relationships and bonds, and you actually learn about these people outside of the game and what makes them tick, what makes them great people, and you form actual bonds. It is not until a virus threatens the very fabric of the game, it is up to you and your friends, your clan, to see if you can stop the virus from overtaking the game. Now, like I said, the game has a actually fairly decent story, and as you're building these relationships with these people and you're seeing things outside of the game and what makes them tick and, troubles on everything outside the game and seeing it go into the actual game itself, it's a really interesting story. These people that I wasn't expecting to bond with or care about or anything like that, they become much more than just teammates. They become like a family, and it's an actual good story, which was really, really surprising. Yeah, there were some lull moments in it, and I think overall the final boss was just meh, but overall I was highly surprised with how much I enjoyed the story of this game. Now, as far as gameplay goes, it's a Gundam Breaker game. I had never played any in the series, and I guess there's other games in the series because this is the fourth one. But in Gundam Breakers 4, you go and you complete these battles. During these battles, you can fight other Gunpla, and you destroy parts of their bodies. You can knock their arm off, their toes, their leg, whatever. Defeat parts of their bodies and they will drop them, or break them and they drop them. You can then pick up these body parts, and once you get back to the hub or the lobby, you can put these parts on your Gunpla. Performing these amazing builds, you can then build your dream Gunpla. And it's really cool to, put a burning Gundam head and a big body, and then you just got like a SD Gundam leg and he's all short and creepy looking. It's really cool to just see what you can build. You can also change the color scheme. My son built a Gundam and he made it all blue. I was like, hey, let's throw some black in there, bud, or how about some red? He said, no, make it blue. So it was just an entire blue Gundam. It was not very creative in the color scheme department, but it's really cool to be able to do that. And once you do actually build the color scheme, when you get a new part, you don't have to worry about going in and upgrading the color scheme again. You can just add that color scheme on any new parts that you get. As you complete these levels and you get new parts or new weapons or whatever, you can then go in after every single one and upgrade your Gundam. So you can not only see your Gundam get stronger and stronger with every fight, but you can also see different customization options, and it's literally endless, the amount of customization that you can do. Now, as far as the battles, they're kind of repetitive in the sense of you're doing the same thing over and over. You start a fight, you have a wave of enemies, you have to defeat all the enemies. There's normally like 3 waves of enemies within one wave of the actual round. You complete that wave, you start the second wave. It's the same thing. You get like 3 waves of enemies and you defeat the boss of that one, then you go on to the third round. The third round is normally going to be the last 3 enemies, or it's going to be a giant Gundam that you have to defeat. And that is the mission. Once you do that, you go back to the hub, you start another mission, see the quick story stuff, and then you're off on another mission. It's a little repetitive, but it's fun. The whole time I wasn't like bored, or I felt like, oh man, this is a slog, if you will. I don't want to do this, anything like that. It was fun doing this, even though, the missions didn't have a lot of variety to them. There were a few different ones, like you have a ship and you have to guard the ship, or you just have to defeat these specific Gundams, stuff like that. But overall, it was the same thing for every mission, even though it was pretty fun. Graphically, I think the game looks good. The character models look great. I did have a few times where the characters would be talking in the cinema sections, and you would see their mouths move, and then they would switch to somebody else, and their mouth wouldn't be moving at all, but they would be talking, and then they would go to another sentence, and their mouth would start moving. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think that's supposed to be that way. I did also have a few times with the camera angle where you'd be locked onto somebody and it would just completely zoom somewhere else, and the lock-in feature would move and make it to where you couldn't lock onto stuff. Sometimes it just didn't work, but other than that, this game ran really good, and I was kind of surprised with the amount of bugs and glitches I had, because I literally didn't have any, minus the camera angles and the mouth's movements of goofiness. But after I said that, I realized I lied. I did have one other issue. If you try and do too much on the menu, so let's say you're selling parts, or let's say you are upgrading your parts, because when you are customizing your Gundam or parts on your Gundam, you can synthesize parts to make it stronger. While you're doing these fights, you're dropping hundreds and hundreds of parts, so you're getting so many different parts. If you do happen to go to upgrade and you just have hundreds of parts that you're upgrading with, and once you start to try and like use specific parts, it will slow down. Or if you're selling hundreds of parts, it will slow down and freeze up, and you'll just get the circle where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So my suggestion is, if you go to sell a lot or upgrade something with a lot of parts, try and do it in groups, because it's going to slow down. I did have that happen quite a bit. Now, the game does feature online, and I really tried to do online because I didn't want to make a review without trying online. However, I didn't get a chance to, and the reason why is every single time I tried to join a lobby, I either had it to where I got an error, I had it to where I joined somebody and they're just standing there. That actually happened multiple times. I started an online match multiple times. Most of the time, nobody joined. I did have one time where somebody joined, but it was while I was customizing my Gundam, because I'd been sitting there for 5-10 minutes and it was like, well, let's go ahead and customize a Gundam. And somebody joined my game. So I did try and do some online, but unfortunately, there was just nobody that was playing to want to play online at that time, I guess. I'm not sure. But you can join a clan, you can start a clan, you can play with your friends, you can actually have your friends go in and play through the story with you. And there's other different game modes that you can do as well. There's like a quest mode, there's a survival mode, so there's a lot to do in this game after you beat the story, which, like I said, you can play through the whole thing with your friends, which is really cool. I wanted to play with my friends, but they're all on Black Myth Wukong, so I didn't get a chance to play with them. Sad day. Overall, I was really impressed with Gundam Breakers 4. I wasn't expecting anything extravagant, especially after the last few Bandai Namco games that I've played. I have reviews out for a few of them. We have a review for Spy Anya, we have a review for Masuko Tensei, and we have a review of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. And on each of those, I said that the game was not that great. So I was not expecting a lot out of this. I figured it was just going to be a fun, short game. I even thought the combat was going to get boring after a little bit, but little did I know I was actually going to enjoy my time with Gundam Breakers 4. Right now, there is trophies, 2 trophies that you are unable to obtain. So I would have been able to do a platinum review on this. I would have went for the platinum. Unfortunately, there's 2 event trophies that have a 0% completion rating. When you go to the event bear in the lobby, he tells you that there's an ongoing event and to come back later. There's no information on it, but 2 trophies that are unobtainable at the moment. I'm pretty sure here, maybe like in a week or 2, we're going to get some events to where you can get those trophies, but as of right now, they are not available, which I did find a little bit goofy to have trophies that you could not obtain at launch no matter what. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. If you are wanting to go for the platinum, just kind of keep an eye out for those 2 trophies. They're 2 event trophies, and if you're wanting to get them, make sure to do it while there's an event going on, because if there's not, you'll be like me to where you can't get the platinum if you're wanting to. Overall, like I said, I did enjoy my time with Gundam Breakers 4. I thought the story was phenomenal. Not phenomenal, that's a good word for... No, it's not phenomenal. It's a decent story, one that I wasn't expecting to be as good as it is. I would give Gundam Breakers 4 an 8 out of 10. If you have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Platinum Review goodness. As always, this has been Chris with Platinum Reviews. I will catch you on the next video.